Hey, y'all. All right. Well, anyone that keeps someone down, keeps them from, earning money, having a way to provide for themselves, their family, that's human trafficking. It's also holding someone hostage. That's crimes against humanity. Um, anyone like gang stalking someone, like I've been gang stalked. Like, I don't know when I haven't been gang stalked, okay? Um, these people like record me and then like my whole life they've been doing this, and then they make, you know, movies, TV shows, and all kinds of crap out of it. Um, they do this to people because they don't have it within themselves to create. The reason why to leave hell, you stay chaste, no sex whatsoever, because in order to create something or to have something, that creation comes from the sexual energy, all right? So if you're remaining chaste and not having sex in any way, shape, or form, that energy is then used to create what it is that you're manifesting. Okay? So you see why that need is there. Do you also understand that when it comes to men, this is just males only, but when it comes to sex, for men, their brain shuts off. I think it's kind of obvious, but now do you understand why men are clay and women are iron? Why they use sex sells and porn everywhere, and why it's women naked everywhere, naked or close to naked. I mean, it pretty much is naked. What they call soft porn, but it really ain't that soft no more, is it? They use that so that all the men, their brains are shut off, regardless if they're homosexual or not. That just take that equation out. This is a projection, all right? The projecting, because you're dealing with Freemason Illuminati that are projecting onto others what they want so that everyone's not looking at them, not looking at the actual culprits. And I mean, these people will get dirt on people, but they're forcing it to happen. They poison and drug people to get something on them and then blackmail them with it. And they do it for lifetimes so that the people are stuck in these cycles. You understand why history repeats itself. So, in order to stop that, you got to take the bull by the horns. You got to face your fears. You got to come out and say what it is. They're blackmailing you with this, they're blackmailing you with that. You got to come out and say it. You got to face it. Face whatever happens. If if you go to the police and they're corrupt and nothing happened, you turn to doing this. But you got to tell the truth. You can't lie. That's going to come back on you. Um, I mean, Uncle Kingpin Epstein Penis. That's Uncle Creepy, my uncle, who's not my dad, but it was put on a fake birth certificate. That's apparently my birth certificate. That that he's my dad. No, he's not. No, the fuck he's not. Okay, but this is who you know blackmails, forces everyone into what he wants because it's all about him hiding his crimes, right? And he's got, of course, my mother, my biological mother, who is actually not my aunt, um, involved in it because I'm sure he used fear tactics to put her in fear in order to have a child with her, which is my half brother, who is White Rapper Boy. And, Hitler only has one ball. Well, history repeats itself. So does he. He's got that same genetic problem. So there's some kind of, connection to Hitler in order for that to happen. And if you go further back from Hitler and you go to George Custer, I mean, it's the same one. Same one, same personality. You can look at patterns and you can see it. Apparently, I have a knack for seeing people in history. I mean, I guess it's because I've always been in history, a history buff. And so you can see characteristics and patterns and be kind of like, whoa, history repeats itself, right? Especially if you have generational curses, hexes on your family. You have to learn and know how to break it off. Well, you're not going to break it off if you keep doing the same thing, living in fear, like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this. This is why these people put people on drugs, alcohol, whatever they can, so that you're poisoning your own body and they're siphoning off of you, which is sacrifice. And they make you go and do it to the person they want you to actually get it from. And they just siphon it off of you. It's a vicious, vicious system and cycle, and it must be ended, and the truth be told on who's, the most wicked. This is about getting the ones at the top, the ones that are doing all this, the puppet masters, if you will. And I mean, they're running prostitution ring, human trafficking. Prostitution is human trafficking, by the way. They human traffic, child traffic my child. They did it to all three of my children. Why is that okay? It's what happened to me. History repeats itself. What they do to one, they're doing it to the rest of them. Don't you see that? Look, for good men to do nothing means that they're no longer good. Good men, good women. You see? They pay these law officials with money and sexual favors, whatever it is that they want, no matter how sick and twisted it is. Do you get what's really going on here? This is a very corrupt community. Now, when I was human trafficked to Florida, the Florida, we'll say Ocelot County, attacked me for no reason and stole my child. They used the CPS, whatever they're called, the alphabet soup group, to steal my child. It was in order to force me to, get married so they could control, my inheritance. You got the fake girl out there with the fake narrative of the dad conservatorship, and it's just bullshit. It's a fake narrative. Copying and mocking me. I mean, it's weird, no coincidence that I'm sitting here talking about, hey, I'm not dead, because they have me dead on paper in order to get insurance money for it, right? And then here this one pops up saying, oh, I'm not dead. What? There's a reason that popped up in front of me, because I pay no attention to these people. I have no reason to, right? But there was a reason it popped up in front of me, for me to see that these people are fucking copying me. And they're doing it to siphon these people that have all this money, but it's not even theirs, because they had to sit there and copy someone in order to get it. They say that flattery is the highest form of, or imitation is the highest form of flattery. No, it's the highest form of narcissism. Energy vampirism is what it is. So anyone that they're blackmailing, you actually become an underdog by coming and telling the truth. You can do a video telling the truth, whatever you need to do. But if you have my child, you need to return my child to me, where he's safe. With his things, you stole my things. Well, you've got to figure out a way to get it all to me, don't you? Without poison, without anything, bad. You're not to try to do something to get another caught up, because you're just incurring more bad karma. There's good karma and there's bad karma. So what do you want to come back to you? What you put out in this world, it literally comes back to you. You're like in a mirrored water world, okay? So if you're putting a lot of bad words on someone, going around and slandering them and doing all this stuff, it's going to come back to you. You're mocking it, it's going to come back to you. And these people like, oh, we get money, all we got to do is this. They don't give a shit what they do to someone else, because they have no compassion, because you have never paid the price for what you've done to others. But there comes a day it all comes back to you, and it can all come at once. They've been putting me through this like Job life and recording it all and making movies out of it all. I mean, I'm sitting here watching movies going, what the fuck's going on here? Like, that's my accident. What's going on? You know what I mean? The movie Upside Down, that girl that splats, that is my accident. I was 7 years old. I fell off a high dive, and that's exactly how it happened. I mean, there's so many of these things, right? It's literally like being Alice in Wonderland, and what's her name in Wizard of Oz, following the yellow brick road, yellow solar plexus. You have to start looking at these things in chakras. Do you know that you have more than 7 chakras? You have numerous of them. They're like also outside the body and around the body. You have an immortal chakra. Did you know that? The more you know. But these people want to keep this from you. They do not want you to know how to manifest. Why do you think they have this sex cells everywhere? That is literally grooming. That's grooming everyone into human trafficking, getting everyone to go the way that they want them to go, using the TV as propaganda machine and their communism machine with the illusion that, everybody's free. Are they free? Well, how come you need a passport to go here, you need this license to go here, da da da. I'm sure it was that way in the old days. I'm sure that, too bad it wasn't. The Native Americans could have kept dumbass people out like Christopher Columbus, which he didn't find America. Does anyone realize that the Native Americans already found it first because they were living on it? Let's just, make it all make sense. There are numerous of us that are descendants of Native Americans, as well as in other places too. We have, DNA, and we're made up of this, that, and the other, right? So everyone needs to chill out, but fraud still vitiates everything. I mean, you have people that are conning and running everything, You want to know who the Antichrist is? Well, I've been revealing it. Uncle Creepy, Epstein penis, okay? Running it all with my mother and their other siblings. They're managing everything and keeping it from me and saying that, oh, well, she has this problem. They're putting labels on something. And, of course, it's the government that's working with them and allowing it because they're getting something for it. They're getting paid. They're getting favors. That's why this is going on. That is called infiltration. That's called invasion. That's called, there's so many of those words I can think of, but you don't have the right to do that. You have no right to take away someone else's birthright and, you're going to come up with an excuse why this, why that. While these people are doing black magic, witchcraft, which that's another reason why they need to have your things. Excuse me. The reason they got to have your things is so they can use it in their little witchcraft, black magic witchcraft, to speak negative words and to do this spell, that spell, whatever. That's why they need your things. That's why you've got to ascend above it to where it has no effect on you anymore. And it's just going to go back to the one that's doing it. And it's going to go all the way it's going to hit the people that are being blackmailed, that are in fear and won't face their fears. That's why you got to face your fears. So that the people that are at the top, that are running it all, they get their karma. Because that's what it's all about, is them preventing their karma. If you are being siphoned off of and human trafficked, the laws are different, but you have to have that realization that that's what's being done to you, that these people have gotten you addicted to something, and they're probably poisoning you through it. It's how they siphon. Like what they did to me, the people that they had do these things to me, they're doing it to them. They have someone else doing it to them. I wouldn't trust these people in this family for nothing, because I know better on, certain side of it. But I know better. I know better. Patterns tell a lot. It really tells a lot. You look at Rumty, okay? You've got to know who I'm talking about. And who else is it? Well, Rumty and White Rapper Boy, okay, that's the same one. look very closely. Go look at my community post of this channel, Expect the Unexpected, and really take a close look. You can't deny it. But why does he have the same characteristics as Hitler? You know, when someone's been molested by someone and they remember things about them, like, the identity of their genitals, and no one does anything to check to see, well, is this true or not? You know what I mean? They don't care. People that don't care, law officials that don't care that women and children are being raped. Why? Because they're a part of that group. Let the tower fall and the karma hit whoever it hits, because it's not to hit innocent people, but it's going to go after the ones that have fear and don't do the right thing and step forward. Either go to like the FBI, because you can't even do anything in this area. You have to go outside of it. It's that fucking corrupt. Really, it's a lot of the South, and God knows it's probably everywhere. You can't trust a lot of these phone numbers of who you're supposed to call for help, right? So that's why doing the videos helps. I spoke something about doing the videos. I was talking about doing your own, not stealing from someone. There's got to be something real wrong with you if that's what you perceive, which means you've got to heal. Everyone can heal. Go watch my previous video. Sitting there talking about, what is it, Dr. Marisu Emoto, and the water experiments he did, where people are speaking like positive words and negative words and freezing the water, or playing music and freezing the water, and the sacred geometry when it's something positive, and the absolute chaos when it's something that's negative. So do you understand why you want to shut off the TV until they learn how to tell the truth? You're teaching people how to treat you. Okay? Put your attention to something good and something positive instead of something that's negative and telling you lies. If someone tells you lies your whole life, you believe it. So you have to shut it off so that you can hear yourself, that you can hear that still small voice. That's what they don't want you to do. They do not want you to know that you are a manifester, right? That sexual energy, your chakras, heal them. And to leave hell, be chaste, okay? Which means you're going to manifest. So you stop having sex. You pray. You pray to help from the divine, okay? Whatever your words are for it, but you pray for help from the divine and your ancestors, because when your ancestors come into the world, and you have children and they have children and so on, they want to have a good life, not keep going through the same cycles. Well, someone's got to break it, right? Why not you? Because the time is now. The time is now, y'all. All right, you can change everything. Face your fears. Don't keep running from them, because that's what evil wants you to do. The ones that are puppet mastering everything. It's about time for it all to fall down on them, isn't it? All right, guys. Love you.